I've never done anything with epoxy. I feel like I'm getting kind of high stirring this stuff. I'm like, wow, this is the best fishing rod ever. I'm Erick Baker, and I've lived in Tennessee my entire life. However, for the last decade, touring the world, I've only seen it passing by from a windshield. But finally, Tennessee is calling me back where I belong. There's a place you've never been that's right where you want to be. I want to rediscover how great my home state is, and I want you to come with me. Uncharted. This past summer, my daughter Annabelle broke her arm. Apart from a random virus when she was very young, it was the first time we'd taken her to the hospital, and the experience left quite an impression on her. You see, we found ourselves in this predicament thanks to an overly spirited turn on the monkey bars. Long after the cast had come off and the bone was healed, we visited the playground where Annabelle had gotten hurt. The significance of the moment didn't cross my mind at first, but I'll never forget the look on her face as she stepped up to those monkey bars once again. So many emotions were washing over her in that moment. She didn't want to be scared. She didn't want to hold back, but she just wasn't convinced that she was up to the task. Truth be told, not being sure that I'm up to a task is a feeling I'm very familiar with. Fishing, for example, has been the source of more bad days, bad words, and bad attitudes than I can shake a stick at. And speaking of sticks, I seem to be better at catching those than actual fish. But as I looked at my daughter that afternoon in the park, knees bent to take that leap of faith, I realized that the time had come. I needed to literally cast my fears away. But while I have a lot of interest, I don't have a lot of answers, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So my first stop was to start a relationship with a local outfitter.
I'm Kevin. It's good to meet you.
Eric, good to meet you.
Glad to have you here.
Awesome looking store you got here,
Thank you. Appreciate that a lot.
A lot of stuff in here.
You're actually standing in the middle of what's mostly all family barns that my brother and I spent about 3 months taking down. And our identity comes from actually the gentleman right there. Uncle Lem, that was my great-great-uncle down there in the photograph.
So it's not just the name of a store?
No, it's not a franchise. It's a local mom and pop.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't do bikes, but short of that, we're a full outfitter. And so, we really try to focus on coaching people well and not overwhelming you with needless selection, but giving you the right selection.
So, I'm actually here for kayak fishing. That's what I'm wanting to get into that.
Sounds cliche, but you came to the right place.
All right.
Because kayak fishing is actually one of our really tight niche specialties. So let me take you back and introduce you to Sawyer. He's our boating expert.
Perfect, I'll follow you. So what's next on my kayak fishing list?
You got to have something to catch them with.
Okay, all right.
So we'll definitely look at a few different baits and options we have in the store. You name it, we got pretty much anything for fishing. We take anybody out that's got questions. If we've got time, we'll take them out and show them different things, different spots. It's definitely something we like to open up as a community.
Let's go fishing, guys. You ready? John?
How are you, sir?
Right?
Yes, sir.
The infamous John Champion,
I don't know
right?
about all that. I started East Tennessee Kayak Anglers on Facebook, and it has exploded. Within like the first 2 weeks, we had 200-something members. We run a wide variety of tournaments. You're gonna meet people that are gonna take you under their wing, take you out, take you fishing, show you some great spots, show you techniques that work in the local area.
Yes, perfect. Because all of those are the barriers in front of me, because you get a boat and then it's like, well, where do I go?
We're barrier busters.
Okay.
Just think of it that way. We're gonna bust the barriers down for you.
Well, let's get on the water,
Let's do it.
All right. Getting out on the water and out of the store today was an unexpected surprise. It got me started on the right foot, or right float, should I say. In all seriousness, I was able to see my purchases in action and get advice on how to make them perform their very best. As it turns out, I needed a couple more supplies before I could cast out into the open water all on my own. And this time, I was on the hunt for something custom. I'm adrift without a paddle. Thank you. Now I see the need for the emergency paddle. After more than 20 years as a machinist, Dewayne Wilson was promoted into project management. where he began to oversee assignments on vehicle noise and vibration reduction. It was during these projects that he realized that both the materials and the manufacturing going into most modern fishing rods were missing the mark. Or to be more specific, they were missing the vibrations. The vibrations that every angler anticipates with bated breath. Soon what started as a pastime turned into a profession, and Dixie Custom Rods was born.
So how does the rod help?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, it's just like in golf, you know. You couldn't use a putter to drive with, or you couldn't use a driver to putt. I mean, it's just, you got to have the right rod for the technique. Right?
So how long does making a rod usually take you?
Overall, you probably got about probably 2.5 hours. And you usually do like 2 or 3 at a time.
At a time,
Right, right.
Okay.
But see, this is, you can look at that. See how smooth that is on the inside?
Yeah.
And right here's what the beauty of doing this way is. Push it up on there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That way you got any filler at all.
Yeah.
Because what it is, that filler will absorb vibration. You know, it'll take the sensitivity away if you got
if you got missing bites and whatnot.
Well,
okay.
you can't. It takes the feel because it's like an insulator.
Is this going to make me a better fisherman?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. So now we got to mark this.
Okay. Okay.
That's for the front of the reel. So next thing you got to do is find the spine. A blank they call it a spine.
Okay.
And I've done it so much I can look at them, but I can show you the way you're supposed to do it.
All right.
And I'll let you find it. How's that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
Put it where it's loose in your hand and rotate it, and you can feel one spot in it that it wants to. I call it that it wants to be. I guess you would. Is a good way to put it. You kind of feel it settle in. That's just where it wants. That's where it
wants to be.
Yeah, right.
You just got to be one with the rod.
Right.
Gotta be, you're like my Mr. Miyagi, and
you'll feel it settle in a spot, and that's you can tell that's where it's.
So what am I feeling for? I mean, that's just another.
When you roll it, you'll feel it. You can feel it good on this one. You'll know this is a little bit stiffer rod. You can tell a little bit easier. You can feel it. It'll roll, and then it gets a place. I don't really know the word for it. That's why
just where it wants to be.
Right. You feel it kind of settle in. It feels like that's where it.
Yeah, I feel it.
Really, or?
I don't. I really don't. I have no idea.
Let me see again.
I really don't.
Oh, you might not be putting enough bend to it. Right, I mean, it's evident on that one so bad it jumps. It jumps into place. Put a little bit more bend in it. See right there? I mean, that right there is the spot.
It's subtle though, it's subtle.
No, this one's real evident. You can see it kind of jump into play. I mean, when it gets there, it just like
Go ahead, pour salt into my wounds here.
Try it one more quick time. Put a little bit more,
all right.
and hold it up a little bit higher at the back.
You were kind of doing that. Oh, maybe
that's it right there. That's it. So you want to mark this to where that is down. So the bottom would be right here. This is the spine. And that's real important. This is another thing production rods don't do. When you're fighting a fish, if that spine ain't right, it just don't do.
Because they don't have some dude like me going, trying to find where it wants to be.
Well, they don't have time, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the big production
But
rods.
I mean, that's
a big deal. That's a big, big deal.
Well, now that we found the spine,
okay.
What's next? So how long is this rod gonna last, somebody?
Oh, it should last forever.
Wow.
Yeah, it should last forever. We
just put the epoxy on, you just finish that up. how long will that be twisting and turning
That's
over there?
around, takes about 10 hours total for that to cure.
Okay, well, can I see a finished rod or one of these?
Yeah, let me show you.
One of the final product.
This is actually a really custom one I done for you guys.
That's awesome.
What do you think about that?
That looks great. That's the best one I've seen. Now I just got to catch something.
Oh, you'll catch them. Them rods will catch fish. Anybody use them.
Thank you so much,
No
man.
problem.
Putting in that extra care and attention means I have that much more of a chance to actually catch something. And now that I have a full tackle box, a pretty sweet fishing rod, and a seaworthy vessel, the last thing I have to figure out is how I actually get everything to the water. But from what I hear, I don't need to travel further than Soddy Daisy to get set up.
Today I'm making my kayak trailer. We are at Tennessee Trailers Incorporated, and I'm super, super excited because today I get a kayak trailer. So Tennessee Trailers.
Tennessee Trailers, welcome.
Here we are.
This is it, this is us. We've been up here since 1972, but we go way back to 1946 making boat trailers.
Okay.
So I'm third generation, and I'm looking forward to passing it down to a fourth generation here soon.
I'm delighted to say I'm here for the Tennessee, for the kayak trailer.
Yeah, we've got you hooked up on our most popular model for our kayak fishing expeditions.
Let's get started, man.
Let's get started.
Awesome. Huh?
So we're gonna get you in some gear here. I'm gonna get with David.
I've never welded before, so
well, I mean,
uncharted territory.
You're just gonna.
How heavy is it? Dang.
Not too bad.
No.
11 gauge.
Don't act like you're not impressed. Like that.
That sounded really good.
That sounded great, as a matter of fact. That's what I look for.
That may be a keeper. Are you stuck? Wiggle it. Give it a little wiggle. All righty.
I'm here.
All right. Okay.
That was not the straightest weld in the world.
You tacked it pretty good.
Hey!
Some of your welds are over here.
It's better than my first weld, Eric.
Oh. Am I hired or what? Let's do this.
Dave and I will talk
good
about
start for a welder.
it. Dave and I will have to talk about it a little bit.
On to the next thing.
This one is yours. We didn't have a bow.
Oh, it looks so good.
But to finish it and haul out of here with it, we're actually going to get you to install the tires on it. The pieces that carry your kayaks are sitting right over there. We're going to install those right here so you don't have to fool with it later.
Well, let's get some wheels on this thing, get it on the road, man.
You just lump them around.
Yeah. First day on the job here at Tennessee Trailers. Oh, no big deal, just putting on some tires.
I'm gonna do the first one.
Okay, get on there. Here I come, Dale Jr., let's do this!
Over the last few days, I've learned that it takes an impressive amount of quality and commitment to set yourself up for fishing success, and not just on the part of the fishermen. Each outfitter I've met with has provided another piece of the puzzle to not only get me out on the water, but to help me get a few fish in the boat while I'm out there.
Good morning, folks. Or should I say good early morning. The sun's just about to come up on a Saturday morning. I just want to say that I feel like my commitment to kayak fishing is going to a whole nother level if I am up before the sun on a Saturday morning.
It's not often in life that we have the luxury of actually scheduling a day to face a particular fear. No, more commonly, those days sneak up on you instead. But the day I fished in my first tournament, that was a day I looked at on my calendar for weeks. What if I finally had all the gear, had all the advice, and still couldn't make it happen?
You know, it's tournament, so I got to come up with a game plan, my strategy for the evening. First, I'm going to try not to tip over, at least not tip over more than once. And
That's good. That's a good plan.
all summer long, I've been fishing these weeknight tournaments, and without much luck, unfortunately. So I decided today I'm going to mix it up. It's a Saturday morning, a week-end tournament, and I'm feeling like today might be the day that I break through finally as a bass fisherman. First fish of the day. It's not very big, but I'm super pumped, and I'm going into the trees right now. Going into the trees. I am pleased to report I now have 2 in the boat. 1, 2, which is now officially tied my record.
Sometimes it was a grind, and sometimes it was a more colorful word than that. And after a handful of times of getting skunked altogether, or spending half an hour getting my lure out of a tree, I started asking if we had any backup plans. Oh, fishing can be frustrating, folks.
Being new at this, I don't know really where to go. And, you know, I try and think, oh, that looks fishy, and I think there's gonna be fish there, and then nothing comes of it, and I'll cast poopy and then end up catching a fish. So I don't know. Right now it's a matter of luck for me. I've caught my third thing, this tree, like way up in the tree. How is that even possible? How do you how do you cast into the top of a tree? Oh, I think my day is coming to an end, folks.
I've heard news about an agency app that's all about angler access and sportsman success. So I'm making a quick trip to Nashville to learn more.
Literally earlier this year, I was on my way to fish and just realized that I needed to renew my license. I was about to turn around and head back to Walmart, and thankfully remembered the app. And from my car, was able to get a license. So I have you to thank for that, right?
You have our entire team, not just me.
Okay.
About 3 years ago, we came out with our new mobile app. We wanted to give the customers what they were wanting. They needed more interaction with the agency out in the field. They needed to know where a WMA might be, where they can go hunt. They needed to know where maybe a boat ramp was. So we decided we needed to provide that for the agencies. And then we realized, hey, why don't we see if we can let people buy their license on the mobile app? Why don't we see if we can let them renew a boat certification and get new boat tags through the mobile app? What happens if they're on the water and they look down and they realize, oh man, I'm out of regulation. My tag's just expired. I didn't realize it.
The good times can continue to roll, right? Now they can just get them, they don't have to get off the water.
So we wanted to provide that.
With the license specifically, it's just on your phone now, right? I mean, you don't have to keep up with the card or...
You don't have to do it.
Yeah, it's just a PDF that's...
It's electronic copy.
And you can show that to the wildlife officer.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, that's...
Perfectly legal.
And when I'm looking for a license, I mean, I may know what it is that I'm wanting to do, but not necessarily how that correlates to licenses.
Sure, are you kidding me? I can't remember what all was. We try to figure out how can we make this easy for people. So we don't want to make it license driven. We want to make it experience driven. So with the new license system that just came out, one of the big things that we implemented was exactly that. So you can purchase your license based on an experience that you want to go enjoy.
Perfect.
So if you want to be an avid angler, or if you want to do that waterfowl, or a big game hunter, if you want to do that, you click on that button and it provides you all the licenses that you would need in order to go do that. It keeps you legal at a glance.
Legal at a glance. I like
You
that.
like that?
That's made just for me. As we've been working on this show, we've said it from day one, you can't preserve and conserve something if you don't know it, if you've never been out in it. And this is giving people the opportunity to get outside. It's making it easier.
We didn't take away any functionality. We just added more functionality for the people who didn't want to go down to the big box store. We didn't take that away from anybody. We wanted to have that interaction with the public the same way as always.
Right.
We just added this to their experience.
So the future is now, I guess, so to speak.
The future is now, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that we're getting ready to roll out an upgrade to it, and we're already looking at other upgrades we're going to do on the next version. So that's what we are constantly doing.
It's gonna be the last time you see it without a big old fish on the end. Look out, carp, here I come.
Somewhere in the midst of the faces I saw each week becoming familiar, the motion started becoming familiar as well. I wasn't expecting it the night it all finally struck me. In fact, I wasn't expecting anything at all. I'd headed to the water, hoping to see a few friends and feel the bottom of the lake from the end of my line. But strike it did.
Oh, fish on! All right, one in a boat. Let's see if it'll measure. Ooh.
And I'll tell you, once it struck, it stuck. Finally, I was on a roll.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I feel like Bill Dan's. All right, check that out. That one's a little better there. Woo! Yeah! Biggest one I've caught so far, ever, actually, in my whole life. So, just over almost about 14 inches.
Looking back now, I realize that the results of the tournament weren't really even on my mind. Honestly, I was just elated that it all finally seemed to be clicking, that I wouldn't be showing up back at the boat ramp empty-handed.
Y'all, I'm on a hot streak here. The fish, that one's a little smaller though. Come on now. Hot dog! These fish think I know what I'm doing. Close your mouth. Oh yeah, that one's gonna measure. Here's my 3. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. Got another one. Number 4, guys, for all of you folks who are counting at home. Life is good. I'm having fun.
Fourth place, $30 and a $10 412 Bait Company gift certificate to Erick Baker.
Yeah! Oh man, thank you. Holy moly! I'm retiring. I've never even been able to place or whatever. I'm usually home by now. Man, I am fired up.
You are the star of the show.
Man, sponsorship, here I come. It's the first time I've actually been able to show you fish.
It's not easy to face our fears, to jump having faith that you'll be able to catch yourself on the other side. And in all honesty, sometimes what lies on the other side is a hard fall. But as I've come to learn, the more you fall, the better you become at avoiding it. My daughter's first time back on the monkey bars after breaking her arm took courage. But more importantly, it took faith. Faith in herself. And not necessarily that this time would go any differently, but faith that even if she did fall, she'd pick herself back up and try again. For me, catching myself on the other side of a leap of faith meant finally catching a full bag. It didn't come easily, and often it didn't involve much grace. But at the end of it all, I still managed to land on my feet.